Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. It is December 15th, 2021, and we're here for another edition of the Jessy and Timmy Show. We got me right here. We got Jessy on the audio and stuff. Jessy, what's going on?
I'd like to take a second to apologise for not being on video.
Oh, no need
I
to
have
apologize.
a swollen eye. I have a swollen eye, and it's not attractive, going to be honest. So
No need to
I don't
apologize
wanna
at all.
make everyone cry. I know.
But with that, today's been kind of a big news day. It's been a lot of stuff to talk about this week. And we're going to talk about all the big things. We're going to talk about MJF. We're going to talk about Kevin Owens. But we're also going to talk about one young man that they call Hook. Hook made his in-ring debut last week. And I thought he looked really good. I'll say that for sure. I think, in my opinion, I think people, and I know this may come off bad, but when trying to compare him to others like Dominic Mysterio and Braun Breaker, I think they're giving him too much credit. Because what he did was different than both of them.
He really got hyped up.
Yes.
He got the hype. I could not believe it. The following day, I looked on social media and thought, oh my good God. Like, people were just so excited. So excited. Which, I don't blame them. But they were excited.
But see, so here's the thing. They were smart in making Hook's first match be like 3 minutes long. Because he didn't have to do much. He went out there, did a bunch of cool, impressive-looking stuff, and then boom, he was done. Won his match, this and that. And everyone's trying to compare this to like Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio and stuff. And you can kind of compare it to Braun Breaker because I think his first match was like 4 minutes, maybe. The match he had with LA Knight. He had a match with LA Knight on his first night, 4 minutes. But everyone's trying to say, oh my God, Hook looks so much better than Dominic. Dominic didn't look this good in his first match. Dominic's first match was at SummerSlam against Seth and went 22 minutes. Of course, you're going to maybe see some flaws in Dominic's first match when you go that long. Because everyone's like, Hook had no flaws. Dominic messed up this and this and this. Well, yeah, Dominic had to go longer. Dominic had to work longer. Dominic had to do more, to be honest.
Do you know what? Like, I didn't like that. Everyone was comparing him with Dominic, and Dominic has worked really hard as well.
Yes.
Really hard. So that was a bit rubbish to see, if I'm honest. That was rubbish to see because I think he's great. I think they're both great anyway. But
oh, me too.
Dominic, he's brilliant. A lot of love for Dominic.
But I mean, as far as Hook does go, I mean, he's got a great look. He looked very smooth in the ring. But here's the one thing we also have to do. Kudos to Fuego del Sol for being a great opponent. Because if they would have put Hook in there with somebody that maybe messed something up or wasn't able to work with somebody as green as Hook, then that could have fell off and done something wrong. Like something bad could. Yeah. I'm not trying to say that something bad could have happened, but you got to give kudos to Fuego for going in there, knowing how limited Hook may be, and being able to work to Hook's strengths and make Hook look good.
And he looked good.
Yes.
Like, he come out and he looked good.
So, again, yes, Hook looked great, but I still say you got to give some kudos to Fuego for being a great opponent. Great first opponent.
This is, like, really weird, right? This is a really weird thing to say, but I've been saying it, like, ever since I've seen Hook. Do you not think he reminds you a little bit of Tom Holland? Like
the face, yes. I can see it.
When he come out, and I was like, I can see it. That's Spider-Man, right?
Here, hold on. I'm gonna pull up a comparison on the screen.
Honestly, I was like, oh my God, that's Spider-Man.
Oh no, I've got the perfect picture for this too. All right, hold on.
I even saw something today. There was actually a picture of Hook as Spider-Man.
Oh
and
no.
I thought, oh, yeah. And I was like, no, it's gotta be.
Here we go. Let's see if this loads up properly.
Is it gonna?
I didn't think about it till you just said it, but yeah, no. Yeah.
Right? You see it?
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up here on the screen. Share screen. Share the proper screen. Boom. Tom Holland, Hook. Yeah, I can see it.
Right?
Especially
Right?
both with the messy hair and stuff. Yeah, no, I see it. You're right.
Yes.
Again, I did not think about that until you said it, and now I'm like, how have I not thought about this?
Honestly, and I've just show you this picture, because I just could not believe it. I was like, no, seriously, that's Tom Holland.
That's
I
very,
love it.
very funny.
Right. Right. Oh, I'm gonna have to send you this picture because I think it's great. Absolutely brilliant. I love it. I'm here for it. They're very similar.
Oh man, but again, I thought Hook looked really good. Hook did a great job in his first match. I don't know, honestly. Here's my thing. I don't know how my light just turned off. I need to fix that. I don't know how often they're gonna have Hook actually wrestle on television. But I, at least for a little bit, may keep him limited and just say, hey, you can work a couple, but and there is the problem with that, keeping him limited, so that way you don't possibly see any flaws. But the problem there is when you keep him limited, then he's working less and not able to improve. Because if you want to,
I don't know. I think because he has had this big hype, and he has. I think they're just going to push him. I don't think they're going to kind of back off of it. I think they're going to keep pushing him.
I can see that happening, and maybe, I mean, he's still young in his career. It's early on, so
For sure.
You don't have to push him fast right now. You can wait a little bit. But there's just that fine line of, do we overexpose you with Hook now to get him more matches and more experience? Or do we kind of hold back and just have him keep training? You know what I mean? There's that, what route do we go kind of thing.
Yeah, see, yeah, they could just hold him back, and then he could be like just a surprise. He could be that special kind of the weapon.
Exactly.
He will be the weapon. The weapon. Ooh. I'm intrigued to see what they do with him, actually. Very intrigued.
Oh, I'm very intrigued as well.
He's cool. He's cool. I like him.
Because if he was...
It was fresh.
And again, I don't know how to phrase this. Saying, because I want to say the whole, if he's that good now, just wait till he keeps getting better. But at the same time, he did do limited things. But we don't know how well he would be in a 5-minute match, a 10-minute match. Yeah, he doesn't have to be doing 5-10-minute matches now. He doesn't need to be Dominic going out there doing 22 minutes in his first ever match or anything. But eventually, we're going to start seeing more and more of him, hopefully. Yeah, I was shocked that he was as good as he was. I knew from what I had heard, people backstage had said, and there have been reports that in training he had impressed many people. So I knew that he was at least going to look good, and they weren't going to put him on TV till they thought he was able to look as good as he did. So I'm glad that they waited as long as they did and didn't throw him out on TV sometime last year.
No, I'm glad they've waited.
Yeah. But speaking of AEW, speaking of All Elite Wrestling, another young gun, I guess you can call him, is MJF. And we all know that some consider MJF the top heel in all of wrestling, the top heel out there today, one of the best that's been, on the mic and one of the better talkers recently. And apparently, not only does AEW know that MJF's really good, not only are there people in WWE interested in MJF, but according to a new report from Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast and F4W Online, he states that people within both Fox and the USA Network have shown interest in MJF as far as going as far and asking WWE, do you know his contract status and when he could come available? That's interesting.
It's someone that I wasn't expecting as much to get that kind of interest from WWE, if I'm honest.
I thought, go for it.
No, so obviously where they're doing, we was talking about the athlete thing, and we were saying that they do, they're trying to put in they've got like fresh meat quite a lot. Someone like MGF, I just wasn't expecting them to even think about him.
MJF fits that well because MJF didn't go to college. He went straight into pro wrestling after high school, but he was apparently a really good high school football player. He's got the size and the look WWE would be looking for. He's really good on the microphone, and he's still young.
Brilliant on the mic.
That's the thing. WWE wants young people. MJF right now is, how old is he? 25. When his contract comes up with AEW, he will only be 27 in 2 years. His contract is up in 2024 with AEW, and he'll only be 27. If WWE wants young guys, and especially young guys, they don't have to train, because in all of these people, like we talked about last year with the college athletes that they're looking to sign, those are all people they'll have to train from zero. MJF, they can literally throw him on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown day one. Don't have to worry about, he needs NXT training. He needs to go to the Performance Center. No. He already knows how to work television. He already knows how to speak on the mic. He knows all of it. He's somebody that they can grab, that's young, that's athletic, that can do it all, and they don't have to worry about, he's got to go to the PC for 6 months and learn how to work.
One thing I like about him is he has been consistent.
Yes.
He really has. And he's getting better and better, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think his mic work is just one of the best. Really, really good.
I would put him up there as one of the best of the year, for sure.
100%. Yeah, 100%. He's absolutely great on the mic. So I'd be intrigued, actually, to see if he actually does eventually go.
I mean, if he's smart, and we'll talk about this with Kevin Owens in a little bit, if he's smart, he would listen to offers from both sides, WWE and AEW. And he even alluded to this on Twitter last night. He would listen to both sides, AEW, WWE, see what each company's going to offer him, and then go forward with whatever offer. Because last night, Andrew Zarian sent out a tweet about this, sorta, and MJF was like, the biggest bidding war of 2024. So
I love it.
And
he even knows. He knows. And he's already on it.
He's doing it in his promos in AEW already.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's just already thinking. And there's honestly not many people like that can get away with it as well. Do you know what I mean? He actually get away with saying that kind of stuff.
Because
I love it.
He's already made reference to, and he didn't say this directly, but he's made reference to, he's worked with a Bruce at other companies that is now influential at another big company, hinting at, I work with Bruce Pritchard in MLW, so I've got to hook up through him to get into WWE if I don't want to stay here with all these dumb people in AEW. He's said it on television.
Yeah. What would you reckon he'd do? Honestly,
that is the toughest question I think you can ask. Even tougher than Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, or Kevin Owens. I think that is the tougher one because WWE, I don't know if they ever showed interest in him before AEW started. Granted, I don't.
Well, they had him as backstage, didn't they? They had these
they did.
Wasn't it?
They did, but I don't know how much interest outside of an extra they showed. I know he did that Samoa Joe thing where he was the security guy for the Samoa Joe entrance. But I don't know how much interest in actually maybe signing him they had, because he started training in 2015. AEW started 2019. He did that thing with Joe, I think maybe 2016, 2017. So AEW has put a lot into him. I will say that. They have shown him that, hey, we will do whatever it takes to make you a top guy, one of our top guys. And I believe that he will be, I'll go out on the limb, AEW World Champion in 2022. I think he will win that belt next year.
I hope so. I think hope he will.
He's the one to take it off of Hangman.
Ooh.
I think he's the one to beat the Hangman for the belt.
I can see it. And you know what? I hope it is him. I really do hope it is him.
What way to get him even more hated by the fans than beat maybe the most beloved guy in all of AEW for the title? And then just talk crap for weeks and weeks and weeks that I beat your hero. I beat the guy that you guys put on this pedestal, Hangman, you know? He'd be even more hated than he already is.
And he thrives on it.
Yes.
That's so good. He thrives. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think. And if I'm also going to go out and make a bold prediction, I think Hangman also not only loses the title to MJF, but doesn't have a long title reign like we saw with Moxley, Jericho, or Kenny Omega. I think also he beats MJF MJF beats Hangman after not even holding the title for that long. I wouldn't even keep the title on him for 6 months. Heck, I'd have him beat him at Revolution in March. I'd go that quickly. Because then fans will be like, what? We didn't get our Hangman title run that we wanted to see for, we didn't get this long title run like all the other champions got. And MJF can go, yeah, he wasn't good enough to defend that title more than once or twice because I went out there and I beat him. I can see it.
Getting saying boo-hoo.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly. But, oh man. Crazy to think that not only is, and there's a quote here I want to read from what Andrew Zarian wrote up about this. So he said, quote, an individual at one of the networks, he wouldn't state if it was Fox or USA, has been a very reliable source and told me, quote, I actually stopped what I was doing and listened to him, MJF that is. He said, I have not done that with pro wrestling in a long time. So a guy that I guess you could say is connected to WWE because of where he works, may or may not be a wrestling fan. We don't know that, how big of an AEW fan this guy is, but stated that he doesn't really, the way I took this quote was he doesn't fully invest in paying a lot of attention to wrestling, paying some attention, but MJF got him to really pay attention. That's how I took the quote. And it's something that people can probably interpret in their own way and stuff, but Zarian also did state in this post that he talked with somebody in WWE, and yes, there have been conversations of the company really wanting to pursue him when his contract does come up, if possible. Because that's the thing. If he does not let his contract expire, WWE can't send him an offer. If he signs with AEW before his contract is up, they can't send him an offer. They can't say, hey, we want to pay you this much money to come move over to us and not stay with AEW. Because like with Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly, they can now get offers. They can hear what either side wants to say because they let their contract expire. Unlike Kevin Owens, who we're going to talk about here in a minute, didn't let his contract expire, signed a big new deal with WWE, and never was able to, didn't even listen to what AEW would have offered. Maybe he got feelers and said, hey, they're very interested. They will sign you. They'll maybe offer this. But Tony Khan and any other official could not legally talk to Kevin Owens about a deal. But do you think, you asked me the question, do I think MJF moves? Now I put it back on you. Do you think MJF could leave AEW for WWE?
Do you know what? I know I shouldn't say it, but I'd like him to in a way. I'd love to see what he does. I'd love to see who he could potentially feud with. Like there's a lot of good people in the mic over in WWE. Like there is a lot of people that he could really feud with.
I mean, worst case.
I don't know.
Go for it.
No, I just thinking. I think to see him there. I would like to see him there.
Worst case scenario for MJF. You go to WWE, you sign a 3-year deal, you don't like it, you go back to AEW after.
Yep.
Like you said, test it, see how it works, and there you go. So I don't know. We still
I
got
don't
2
think
more years.
it wouldn't be a bad shout. It wouldn't be a bad shout.
No.
We don't know what he could do. He could go and he could be the champion next year, and then he could do all that, and then think, do you know what? What else could I do?
Exactly.
What else could I kind of dip my toe into? And honestly, just thinking about some of the feuds he could done it. Imagine him and Seth, like.
You know what? I think if MJF were to sign with WWE, the first thing you have to do is MJF versus The Miz.
Oh,
you have to.
There.
He'll beat The Miz, and then he can move on to someone like you said, a Seth or a Kevin Owens. Go over, take on Roman Reigns, maybe, because by 2024, Roman, I assume, may not be the champion anymore. Who knows? But
I'd like to see an MJF and Randy Orton.
Oh yes.
Oh, that would be. That,
I mean,
see, there's opportunities.
So many opportunities. MJF, Cesaro.
Oh.
From an in-ring standpoint, that'd be really good.
Yeah, that would be really good. You know who he would be good with? Sammy.
Ooh. Yeah, Sammy's contract is up next year, though. I don't know what he's going to do.
Nah,
Here's one.
I reckon he'll stay.
Here's one that I think MJF could really do well on the mic with, especially if he keeps the name, Braun Breaker. You know how much fun he would have making fun of that name?
Oh, he would, wouldn't he?
He would have fun just making fun of the Braun Breaker name.
Oh, imagine how much fun he could have with Paul Heyman. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, too. Him and Heyman going back and forth.
I'm starting a petition. I think he should go. Give it 2 years, MJF. I'm ready. I'm ready for you to leave.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it hasn't been stated when in 2024 his contract is up, other than his contract is up sometime in 2024. I know he signed relatively early with AEW, so maybe the beginning of 2024, January, February time. Speaking of MJF, though, right before we went live, another story was put out about MJF, and this actually has to do with a fan that snuck backstage. I don't know if anybody else has seen the story. This was just posted by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, where he stated the quote. A very unusual situation played out last week on Long Island at the AEW Dynamite show backstage. Fightful has learned that building security for the UBS arena, not the AEW security, allowed a fan backstage who was posing as an extra. Things quickly unraveled for him, though. The fan made his way into the locker room and sat in Dax Harwood's seat before being informed of such. He apologized, noting he was there as an extra, and then moved over to a seat that apparently belonged to the blade of the Hardy family office. It became evident to people in the locker room that something was off here, so they began questioning the person. The person was apparently wearing Jeff Hardy-style armbands, and when asked, "Who trained you?" he stated, "Jeff Hardy." Well, Jeff Hardy does not train wrestlers. Also, the person couldn't quickly or correctly identify who may have actually booked him for the show as an extra, citing a name in the company who does not do that job. They also go on to state that MJF and Dax Harwood quickly ejected the fan, from the locker room and took him to somebody who was able to identify and indicate that he was a fan. Here's the kicker. He was a fan that back in October was kicked out of an AEW Boston event. The man also kept on trying to state that he was friends with Taz, and yeah, that's not true. Crazy.
I just don't, honestly, I don't know what goes through some people's heads. I'm going to be honest. I just don't get it sometimes. Don't understand.
Now, this is something that is not on AEW as far as him getting in the building, because their security is not working the door. That is security for the building. And unless...
That's hired security.
And maybe they're going to have to do this going forward, unless they have like a roster that they give the security guy and say, if their name's not on this list and they try to say they're an extra or something, don't let them in. I mean, that's maybe the next step they have to take. You know, names, check IDs,
really
this and that.
They have to do that. It's really sad that they have to do that as well.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So they said that he was kicked out of the AEW Boston show back in October and then tried to sneak in here in Long Island. That's a 5-hour drive if he lives in Boston. If he's someone that lives in Boston and then traveled to Long Island, that's a 5-hour drive. This guy may have traveled significantly just to try and do this.
No, I just don't get it.
I don't either.
It's just a lot of work, isn't it? A lot of work, a lot of traveling around. There's just no point to go all the way there to then be kicked out. Like,
I mean,
no,
the report doesn't state anything or whatnot, and I don't think they would have, but could they may have pressed charges on him sneaking in? I don't know. Called the cops and said, hey, this man snuck into the building. This man didn't have a ticket. This man was not asked to be here by us. We didn't contact him. He's a fan that basically lied and snuck in. Could they have called police? I don't know. Because it's a different situation than the guy that jumped the rail and attacked Seth Rollins. From all we know, this guy didn't do anything to hurt or harm anybody.
But then we don't know what he could have done. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Who knows if they would have said, oh, you're an extra? Okay. And then him try to sneak out and get down to the ring or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, a possibly bad situation diverted early thanks to MJF and Dax Harwood.
Dax Harwood always seems to be the one sorting out these problems.
Right? Ain't he the one that punched the guy that attacks Bret Hart?
I'm pretty sure.
I knew it was one of them, Dax Harwood or Cash Wheeler. It may have been Cash that punched the guy.
Cash, actually.
I think Cash is the one that punched the guy.
It always seems to be one of them two that's involved.
But going forward, all that cool, fun, big news. You know, Hook made his debut. A lot of people are interested in MJF. But there's even bigger news that broke this morning. Kevin Owens has signed a new contract at WWE. And here's the thing. I've realized that news likes to break either when I'm not home or just getting back home from either picking up or dropping the kids off at school. Literally, like a couple weeks ago, releases happened. I was out picking up the kids from school. And this story literally broke 5 minutes before I got home from dropping the kids off at school. I'm like, Jesus, I can never catch a break. But let's talk about it right here as far as Kevin Owens does go. Kevin Owens sticking around with the old WWE. According to Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp, he does state that Kevin Owens has reportedly signed a new multi-year deal with WWE. Fightful learned several weeks ago that WWE was very interested in retaining Kevin Owens and made him what was said to be a, quote, excellent offer to stay. WWE sources that they spoke with said that they were over the moon about retaining Owens, and they made it very clear to him personally that they were eager on retaining his services. Now, Sapp says that he also spoke to some people in AEW about, hey, you think Kevin Owens would go over there? What's going to go on with this? And they said, honestly, if WWE does give him a big money offer, AEW may not be able to match that. That's where WWE's got the thing of, we've got money. Yeah, maybe we don't want to spend a lot of money right now, but if we have to, we'll give someone a good contract to stay and not go somewhere else. It'll be interesting.
I think AEW's got a little bit too much going on to have him there as well.
Yes, I could have saw him fit in, but I do think that they have too many guys already. And Kevin Owens, what are you going to do? Just have him in the Miro spot fighting for the TNT title?
Yeah,
he's got to be up higher on that card
for sure. And I just think, where obviously it would have been great to see him there for sure, but I'm thinking they've got so much going on. They've got quite a few big guys over there at the minute trying to be at the top. Where would he go?
Right, because they just recently
Punk being there and
exactly. Like you just said, Punk.
I'm glad
he's there. Danielson, they're putting him right at the top. But then you got Adam Cole.
Yep.
Adam Cole is in a role of, and he addressed this recently. He's in a role of, in my opinion, and I've said this before, an extra guy almost to the Young Bucks. But Adam Cole did address that recently and said, sometimes you just have to wait for your opportunity. Saying that maybe
what they're doing is good.
Maybe it's not his turn yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was the thing with Kevin Owens.
I wouldn't see him push straight away. I wouldn't want to see that straight away with Adam Cole. I'm glad they're doing what they're doing.
Now, with Kevin Owens, I could literally have seen him in the exact same spot as Adam Cole. Because if you remember, back in the day, Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and Kevin Owens were a faction, were a group. So I could see him get added with them, and then they become the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling like they were back in the day. And then that lead to something going forward. But he's staying with WWE. No word on how many years he has signed with. I know WWE likes to do 3 and 5 year contracts. But very good to hear that Kevin Owens is sticking around with WWE.
Yeah. And no, I'm glad. I'm glad he's staying. Very glad.
That goes with what I was saying earlier about MJF. The whole Kevin Owens was not able to hear a proper offer from AEW. He got that money. He got apparently excellent offer. I'm going to call it big money deal. That's what it sounds like to me. And said, you know what? This is enough for me to want to stay and not even listen to what they have to say. Because here's another thing. Say he let his contract expire at the end of January. And then he goes, all right, AEW, what do you have to offer? Oh, I don't like that offer. Vince, I'll take your excellent offer. Vince doesn't have to have that excellent offer anymore. He can go, oh, now you want to come back? Okay, but half that offer. Half that offer. That's the issue. You either take that offer now, or it may not be available in 2 months.
So, what do you think? What do you think they're going to do with Kevin Owens now? Now he's staying.
I would like them to put the title on him eventually.
Hell yeah!
But I mean, it's Kevin Owens. We've seen what they've done with him for the last however many years. 10 years almost now. When did he sign with WWE? I want to say he signed with WWE, not 10 years. I think he's been with them for 6 years, 7 years. Kevin. I know he's been with them for a while. He signed with WWE 2014. 15, 17, 18, 2021. Next year would be his 8th year in WWE. And it's like, yes, he got the Universal title because Finn got hurt. But other than that, okay, he's a multi-time Intercontinental Champion. Won other titles. Let's see, what all has he won in WWE? In World Wrestling Entertainment. NXT Champion, Universal Champion, 3-time United States Champion, 2-time Intercontinental Champion. They've really kind of slotted him as a guy we can put at the top as a challenger. But when it comes to being the champ, we'll stick him in the middle. And they've kind of slotted him there. And hopefully, with saying, hey, we really want to keep you, they prove why him staying was a good deal. Maybe give him the WWE title sometime next year. Maybe at day one. Maybe not. I don't know. Honestly, I think the only reason he's in the match at day one was kind of a way for them to say, no. We'll use you good. Look how we're going to push you. Stay with us. I don't think there's plans for him to win the belt at day one.
No, I don't.
So I honestly, I think that was just look, we'll use you well if you stick around. But that's the same.
I hope they go through with it.
But, saying stuff like that was the same thing they told the Good Brothers. Hey, you'll still be pushed. Sign a new contract. You'll be pushed prominently. We'll use you well. 6 months later, they were released from the company after not only signing a new deal, but how do I phrase this? Upsetting AEW and not even listening to an offer that they could have offered them. Because they talked with the Young Bucks about going to AEW, and they had told the Young Bucks, yeah, we're very interested. New Japan thought that they were going to get them as well, and then all of a sudden, Vince and Triple H make them a big money deal, and there you go. Apparently, there were plans in place for Carl Anderson and Jon Moxley to fight over the IWGP United States title in New Japan. If they would have left WWE back in 2018 or 2019.
Oh,
But then apparently
interesting.
they were in Japan on a tour, and Triple H goes $750,000 each, and they said, okay, we'll take that money. And apparently Triple H also told them, you either sign this deal now or this deal's not going to be here soon. We want to take care of you. You've got families. We want you to be part of our family. Like, they told this whole story on their podcast. And so, I don't know. Yeah, they've made, what's the word I'm looking for? Promises in the past that they didn't fulfill. And so hopefully there will
be a riot if they upset Kevin Owens. I actually think there will be a riot.
Oh, yeah. So
massive riot. People love him.
Hopefully whatever promises they have made to Kevin Owens, they can keep. And I think trying to compare them to the Good Brothers and how he's been used compared to how they were used in WWE, you almost can't, because he's been used way better than they ever were. Yeah, they're former tag team champions, and they were linked with AJ Styles, but that's their thing. That's their claim to fame in WWE. They were linked to AJ Styles. But Kevin Owens is sticking around. I'm happy. Kevin Owens is one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. So I'm happy to see that he's sticking. Great. I'm happy to see that he's sticking around. I understand him sticking around because, just like we said with MJF earlier, go to the other side, test it out. If it's not what you like, go back. But with him, but with the roles reversed of leaving WWE and then going back to AEW, if you leave WWE and then try to come back, there's never going to be this kind of an offer again.
No.
It was take it now or take something significantly less in the future. So I think that's why he had to jump the gun. He had to go, you know what? I'm taking it. I'll go with it. I can't wait, because he didn't know how long this offer was going to be available for. It could have been just like I said with the Good Brothers. They went to him and said, we got a really good deal for you, but it ain't going to be here in a month if you don't sign. So
we shall see, hopefully.
Right?
Hopefully it's not going to be a flop.
I mean, thinking about it. Kevin Owens. What can they do with Kevin Owens? Heck, have Kevin Owens win the Royal Rumble? Kevin Owens versus Big E at WrestleMania. In a singles match. Because we've seen them work well together the last couple of weeks.
I've actually seen quite a little bit on Twitter today that people think he's going to win the Rumble.
Good chance.
I'm here for it.
Honestly, here for it. If I'm making Rumble predictions now, I'm going to go out on a huge limb. Royal Rumble, Braun Breaker.
No.
If they want to go all in with Braun Breaker, he goes and wins the Royal Rumble. Eliminates like 10 guys. Looks super, super strong like a Brock Lesnar or a Roman Reigns would. And then his first night on the main roster, he wins the Rumble. I would piss a lot of people off.
I couldn't see it.
Because that would be the whole, it's another Roman Reigns. They're going to push this guy even though he's not ready for it.
See, I don't even want to already think ahead of the Rumble because it's my favorite one.
Right.
Favorite pay-per-view. I'm already excited as it is. And I'm thinking, could they do? I wouldn't even know who's going to win now.
Oh, yeah, no, they haven't made any indication. And to be completely honest, the last couple of years for the Rumble, I know when Drew McIntyre won the Rumble, that wasn't a surprise. They had been pushing him really, really strong and stuff. And that's why I thought maybe Lashley could have won the Rumble last year, because how strong he was being pushed. But there's nobody that I can see in WWE right now that is being on that kind of same trajectory as Lashley and Drew McIntyre were early, before like Rumbles and stuff. Because before Lashley won the WWE title, he had not been pinned, I don't think, or submitted more than once in the last year. And Drew was the same way. He hadn't lost a match. Like, hadn't been pinned or submitted in a match for almost 6-7 months. And I don't see
oh my God. What are they going to do?
And I don't see anybody like that right now.
They could really do it where we have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I love it. I love
like
it when they do that.
Last year with Edge winning, I mean, they almost couldn't do the whole "we're going to keep you strong" thing with Edge because he was out with an injury.
Do you know what? I think that was so predictable with him winning. So predictable.
Kind of, yeah. I wasn't shocked with that one.
Do you know what? I didn't want it that much. I'm going to be honest. I was not as bothered about him winning. I know it's really bad because I love Edge, but just for me, I just thought, oh no, it was very predictable. But I really hope we've got Big E staying as a champ till Mania, and then whoever wins the Rumble.
Here's a question I have for you that someone asked me recently.
Yeah.
So we've seen Kofi Kingston's WWE champion. We've seen Big E as WWE champion.
I know what you're gonna roll.
Who do you think has been the better WWE champion from all sorts of aspects of the champion? Not just in the ring, on the mic, but also representing the company as the champion.
Do you know what? My winner, 100% would be Big E.
Yes.
100% for me.
Go for it.
You know, he does. You know what he's been doing in the ring. I love Kofi Kingston, but he's Big E is amazing on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just that, but has just made a name for himself so much, even outside of the company as well, which has brought even more interest into the company, into the company.
So
overall, he's been amazing.
Now, here's my comparison with that. We've seen Big E get all these opportunities. He's doing intro stuff at boxing matches. He's walking boxers out to the ring. He's showing up on college football shows and stuff. But you can say that's all great for Big E. But Kofi never got those kind of opportunities. Is that because people see Big E as a better outside representative than Kofi Kingston was? That's the big question. Do others, not in wrestling, I could say maybe, see Big E as a better person to represent as the champion than Kofi was? And granted, I thought Kofi was a great WWE champion. I think as the champion, and the feuds that he had with Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler and so forth were all great stuff in WWE.
I'm still going to go with Big E 100%.
Me too.
But I'm not. But are we going to get Woods as champion? That's what I'm. He's the last one.
He is. I don't.
You know. Do you? I feel it's going to be a little bit muggy if they don't.
I don't.
But he did get King of the Ring.
Yeah.
So.
Which I'm kind of already.
Wins Rumble.
Speaking of that King of the Ring thing, I'm kind of already over it. I think he's getting kind of too annoying.
Do you think he could win the Rumble though? I'll go against Big E.
Oh, you think against Big E? You think against Big E and not take Roman? That would be an interesting one.
I'd hope they wouldn't, because time when one of them isn't, obviously if Big E isn't the champion, they're gonna, and all three of them aren't champions, they're gonna need to have that New Day. You know, they're gonna need to have all of them together, because those guys as a tag team are amazing. Absolutely amazing. They've got chemistry beyond chemistry, and they're so loved. So as much as I thought, you know what, it could be like Woods and Big E, but at the same time, I don't think they could do that to New Day. I
just don't see. I don't see Woods as someone that they would put in there as the champ. I just don't see Xavier Woods. Nothing against Xavier Woods. I think he's great.
No, I get that.
I just don't see him as the champion, and not just because WWE hasn't used him in a way that would make me think that. It's just something about him. And again, no offense, I think he's great in everything he does in and out of WWE. I just don't see him as the top guy, the WWE champion.
Is like the face. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I completely get what you mean. Like, you know, you look at Big E, you look at Roman Reigns, and they are the guy.
Mhm.
You know? They are the guys up there.
Yeah.
And even with Kofi was, because Kofi's had such a good history, and you do look at him and you think, oh, could he really be that face? I do get where you're coming from.
Because with Big E, I always thought eventually Big E would win either the Universal or WWE title. Kofi Kingston,
for sure.
I wasn't someone that wouldn't be like, Kofi needs to win that title one day. But when he did win the title, I was like, I know he'll do great with it. I know he'll be good in this spot. But with Woods, it's just like, there's something there. There's just like, and I don't know if maybe he just tries to, and this is a bad comparison for me to say because they all act goofy, but maybe Woods is the most goofy of them all. And I couldn't maybe take him as serious as the main guy.
I get that. Like I couldn't see him standing up to a Brock Lesnar.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I
barely believed him standing up to Roman.
Yeah. I get that. You know, it's Big E, even in my eyes, Big E is that one of those people that I was so happy to see him as champion. As much as I love Kofi being a champion, like that was an emotional time. Big E is just something else.
Exactly, because like
he's great.
Because like going into the stuff with Roman Reigns and Xavier Woods, it was like, okay, we got this, but it's like no one ever thought anything of it. No one ever thought, Woods is going to be a threat to Roman Reigns. Now going into Survivor Series with Big E and Roman Reigns, everyone knew Roman Reigns was going to win, but in storyline, you could believe that Big E would be a threat to Roman Reigns. Unlike Woods, no one would believe that he would be a threat to somebody like a Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So
you definitely have to be a certain kind of person to go up on that level. You do, and it sounds bad, but to go against a Roman Reigns or a Brock or someone like that, you have to be someone. And
here's the thing: we're saying this now, but I'll go back on my words in 5 years, maybe if Woods changes our mind on this and becomes more serious and becomes somebody that we can now see as the champion. Because who knows? Maybe in 4 years, 5 years, he becomes somebody that we go, oh, no. He's evolved enough to where he can be that guy now.
Yeah.
I just think maybe he just maybe needs more time to get into that role.
There's some incredible people in that roster, but there's a very small amount in my eyes that could be that top person. Very small amount. That have just everything and have that just star factor. Like, as much as obviously Roman Reigns has been around for a while, it's only been like the last year or so, or a little bit longer than that, to me, he has been the guy.
Yeah.
And it was a while I never thought like that. And I think Paul Heyman helped a lot. And he kind of, there's been a lot of times where you look back and you look at different wrestlers, like the big guys, like your Stone Cold, your Cena's, your Rocks, and all the amazing, big guys that they've had, and they have like a legacy,
Right.
And it's only just been the past year, I think I can see Roman there having that legacy. And it's honestly, he was great, obviously, with Shield and everything, but he's just he's the guy. He's the guy.
No, I get where you're coming from. Like, Roman has been, quote, WWE's guy for 5-6 years now, but I see where you're coming from, where he's finally really cemented himself and became even better than we ever thought he could be.
Yeah.
So.
But, I wouldn't even know who's next.
Oh, I have no clue who beats Roman Reigns. Brock? Here's my pitch. Brock wins the title from Roman at day one. Roman then wins the Rumble, then beats Brock at WrestleMania for the title.
No. Oh, I'd be really annoyed if I did that,
Just so they can put more
No.
big accomplishments on Roman Reigns. Oh, he won the Rumble again. Oh, he won the title at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't want. I'm going to be honest. I do not want him winning the Rumble. I'm going to be fuming if he wins the Royal Rumble. Like, I'm going to be very annoyed.
Because they fought for the title at WrestleMania before, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, but Brock won that, if I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, Brock Lesnar defeated Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34. So maybe Roman can now say, oh, I finally beat Brock at WrestleMania, because they fought twice at WrestleMania. Seth won the first one. Brock won the second one.
Do you know someone that I would really like to win the Rumble, right?
Who?
Dexter Loomis. Dexter Loomis.
Really?
Yep.
That's a name I never would have thought I'd hear someone say about winning the Rumble.
Yep. I would love it.
But how
I just don't think it's weird. Him being on NXT, like, just doesn't work for me. I feel like he could have a lot of potential if he tried to go up against the bigger guys. I really do.
Okay, but here's my question with that. How do you build up that match from Rumble to Mania with a guy that doesn't talk?
That's the whole point. the secret quiet one.
I mean, we've seen him do great things in NXT and not have to speak. Like, we've seen him have good feuds and stuff in NXT, but it's just like the main roster is a lot about back and forth and talking and stuff and mic work. And do they give him a mouthpiece? Someone to talk for him? Or does he just act like the same creepy Dexter Loomis, and instead of talking, he draws his pictures?
Could work.
I mean, it would be an
it could wind Brock up.
Oh man.
Oh.
I think that would be the biggest oddball Royal Rumble win ever.
Well, I'm here for it. I'm going to put him forward now.
Now, here's my question, though. Dexter Loomis is how old? Because if he's 37. They're on this young guy kick.
I think they would want to put winning that Rumble, didn't you?
I don't know.
Something in my brain. I'm looking.
I mean, that's an interesting one that I would have never thought of. That's for sure.
I'm literally sitting here looking at the roster and I'm thinking, I don't know who on earth.
I'm telling you, they're going to do Braun Breaker.
Do you really think so?
I think there's a really good, I don't think so, but I think there's a good possibility. Like, if they do it, I would not be surprised with how much they want to push young people. And and with the stuff that has come out on people maybe fast tracked through NXT. So
one person I really need to see a lot more of is Walter.
That all depends on if he wants to move to the United States and be more full time or not. That's all on that's really all on him.
Yeah, well, if he can, that'd be really great for me because I'd really appreciate it.
But
I think he's great.
Here's the issue with Walter and the main roster. He was in that Survivor Series match where it was like NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown, and actually was eliminated rather quickly. So if Vince saw something in Walter, you would think that he would have got more of a showcase in that Survivor Series match. That ended up seeing Roman, Keith Lee, and Seth as the big three guys of that match.
I miss Keith Lee.
We got till March, and then he can start popping up other places.
Well, I look forward to it. I don't know where he will go. I literally don't know. Maybe Impact?
I was thinking Impact as well. I can see AEW making him. I can see AEW making him an offer, but I feel like he would fit in very well at Impact.
he would be great in Impact.
I think he would fit well at AEW as well. But AEW's thing right now is a lot of smaller guys.
Too many people.
That and they have a lot of smaller guys. And so the big guys that they have, like Wardlow and Miro, actually stand out right now because they are the bigger guys. If you start getting too many bigger guys, then guys like Wardlow and Miro and so forth aren't going to feel as special when there's more guys like them there. So that's just my one thing with AEW.
Impact would be a good one.
Yeah, but that's just my
Impact
one thing with
would be a good route.
Yeah, that's just my thing is once you start getting too many big guys, then the big guys there are not going to feel special because they no longer stand out as much.
Yep, I understand.
So, but with that, I think that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Jessy and Timmy Show. I do want to say thanks to Jessy for joining me here again this week. I want to thank everybody who watched here live or who watches later on YouTube or listens on podcast services all around the world like Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, and so forth. Jessy, where can they find you?
You can find me on my Twitter at WatchesJess.
Awesome. With that, I will be, if you're watching live, I'll be live again tonight because we got AEW, not just any AEW Dynamite, AEW Dynamite. Winter is coming with that world title match between predictions here really fast. Hangman or Danielson tonight for the title?
Hangman.
Yeah. Okay. Second prediction. Yep. Diamond Ring. MJF or Dante Martin for the Diamond Ring?
MJF. What?
Okay, so
crazy.
This ain't a prediction. This is a opinion I want from you. Does the ring even mean anything to you?
Not really.
Yeah. Same here. I said it.
Okay.
When they announced that the Battle Royal was coming back, I was like, for the ring? The ring has been just something MJF wears. Like, if they put it on somebody else, what does it even mean? And even with them still doing this diamond ring thing, they've never said that you get a special opportunity. Even if they would have said the person of the diamond ring gets an extra bonus of cash or something, that would be cool. Why do these guys want to fight for the ring? It literally, as we've seen for the last 2 years, means nothing.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
I think that's one thing that AEW did drop the ball with was that diamond ring, and I get putting on MJF and him being able to use it as a heel, as a weapon. But if you're actually going to make people want to fight for it, there needs to be a reason, and there's never really actually been a reason.
Yeah. I'm intrigued, but yeah, the fix that they've got for this winter is coming well good, really cool. Yeah. I like that.
So they also have
really good.
They also have tonight Matt Sydal versus Wardlow and Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb, which I believe I think Serena Deeb wins that because Shida has already stated that she's soon going back to Japan.
Ooh.
So I think Serena Deeb wins, so she can keep that momentum going, especially if Shida is going to go back to Japan for a little bit.
I think it'd be good for her to go back to Japan for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Be good, yeah.
Good little refresher for her. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWUnlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWUnlimited. Have a great rest of your Wednesday if you're watching on Wednesday, and we'll see you next time.